This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
For the teams with a passion that's unmatched, the Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We are ready to start hour number 3 here on the program, and we're going to be joined by Alain Poupart now. We're ready to rock on the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. How you feeling, my friend? Feeling good?
No, I'm tired, but we'll slog through it.
Yes. Get through it. Teron Armstead freak you out a little bit today? Did you like have to do a double take? Did you have to make sure that it wasn't an imposter out on the field there?
Yeah, some good news right there. And you know what? The better news is going to be when his name no longer appears on the injury report. But that was obviously a step in the right direction, and that's big. Certainly trending like he's playing Sunday night, which obviously would be good news. And it looks like the opposite is true of Austin Jackson, who I'm gonna assume has taken a step back since we're not seeing him on the field.
High ankle sprain, right? It's got to be a high ankle sprain.
That's what I think. That's what it was funny because McDaniel actually said it and then kind of backtracked, and he said it was along the lines of when you're dealing with a high ankle sprain or an injury to an ankle, and so yeah, I kind of got the feeling he caught himself.
When you do it, when you're out this many weeks, it's not an ankle sprain. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. None of us are stupid. Either that or you're lying to us and it's a completely different injury. But if it's this many weeks, no ankle takes this long. Now, high ankles, any of us that have had a high ankle injury, and I've had one, bro, those things last forever. They are brutal, dude.
Reminds me of, if you remember, I believe the name was Travis Webster, was a first-round pick.
Yes.
Nick Saban told us he had an ankle injury. It was day to day, and 6 weeks later, he's still not back in the lineup.
Right.
And we came to find out it was indeed a high ankle sprain.
Of course, when it's this long, it's a high ankle sprain.
Correct.
Normal ankles, bro, they're back in a week or two. Please, you're not out very long with regular ankles. So, one of the decisions is easy. All right, I asked Marcel this. So, who starts? Does Austin Jackson start? Does Greg Little start? Or does Brandon Shell start?
Oh, I think it's pretty clear. Well, it's definitely not Austin Jackson because
right,
and I don't think it's Greg Little. I think they elevate Brandon Shell for a third consecutive week, and he starts our right tackle. I think you saw a guy who was pretty clearly solid last week. Greg Little was good the first couple of games at right tackle, then his play slipped, and then he moved to left tackle last week, and it wasn't good. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't go with Brandon Shell, and my expectation is sooner rather than later he's going to get signed to the 53.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. The way I watched him play,
yeah,
he's going to become the swing tackle on the team. I can guarantee you that already. Just by watching him, he's better than Greg Little, dude. You're better than Greg Little, but I mean, I give the guy some credit. I thought he did all right, man. Considering being thrown to the fire right off the street, I thought he actually did a half decent. So you're with me on that one. So it's Brandon Shell should be the starter.
I'll take it a step further and say that if he has, because to me the issues last week were Greg Little and were Liam Eichenberg from where I sat. And if they put Brandon Shell in the starting lineup against the Steelers and he performs well, there's no hurry to bring Austin Jackson back in the starting lineup. That's
right. Now you're not as desperate if he can hold his own. I agree with you. Now Eichenberg is definitely not holding his own, and it's like when are you going to give Robert Jones a shot? Okay, because that's you got to give Robert Jones a shot overall. So I don't know what's going on there, but that one's hard to explain because it reminds me of the NFL telling me that Teddy Bridgewater had some kind of ataxia, and I can't see it anywhere in the film. Please don't tell me that Eichenberg is worth staying in the lineup because I don't see it in the film. I really don't. I mean, he is a detriment to any quarterback.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. What I notice everywhere where I see the flaws are in pass protection. I haven't necessarily studied enough his run blocking to see maybe he's been very, very good in the run blocking.
Larry Little, by the way, we had Larry Little on a little while ago, and he was like, yeah, the pass protection is where they're really, really struggling at times. Eichenberg, he was talking about, actually. He hasn't been happy with Eichenberg either, by the way.
It's like, dude, he can't pick up, like I said the other day, he can't pick up a twister, or stun up front. I mean, it's not, that's kind of an essential part of the job of an offensive lineman, to be able to recognize those and makes a switch when you need to.
And I'm with you. I'm with you. It's just funny the way you phrased it. All right. Your thoughts on Tua's press conference yesterday and his reaction to getting rid of the football.
Yeah, he didn't say anything that we don't. Number one, that we don't know. Number two, that he hasn't said before. It's one of those where I think he recognizes the problem, but there's a difference between saying it, like it's me saying, well, I know I need to eat better, like all the time consistently, and actually doing it. That's all fine and dandy. The big test is going to come with the first time when a play breaks down and he's hanging under the ball and the pressure gets to him after, I don't know, 3-4 seconds, whatever, or 6 seconds like it was at Cincinnati. And then we see him having made the correct and wise decision, just chuck the ball away. Seriously, chuck the ball away. It's not the end of the world.
I'm with you there. And speaking of not eating right, I can't wait to cheat with you over at the combine this year, because I haven't been there in like 3 years, right? This might be, it's 3 years. It'll be 3 years. I haven't been there. I haven't had those damn garlic rolls with the cheese
pizza
and
bread. Pizza bread.
Oh my God, that stuff is.
You're on. You're absolutely on.
Wait till Sean actually try. Sean hasn't tried it yet, so he's hitting the road. Well, I know actually he doesn't have to go to the combine. The combine is the one that he's not going to. He's got to go to the Senior Bowl, but I actually don't need him that much for the combine, so he's lucky. So I'll probably go by myself but I can't wait this year, bro. I get back to hitting the road again, bro.
There you go. Excellent.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that. All right, so we've got Armstead back, Jackson out, looks like it. Waddle, you think he's going to play, right? It was limited, and he came back in the game after and all that. I know the kid felt like shit because he had those two, terrible plays, but it looks to you like he's going to end up playing, right?
Let's say 75-25. I mean,
right.
Not ideal that he's wearing the red jersey at practice, but it seemed like he's on the injury report every single week, and he always plays. And even in training camp was the same deal. He didn't play, but the concern was always bigger than it seemed like the reality was. So, I'd say he may be trending. Agba's one that's kind of worrisome. That's 2 straight days he didn't practice, with a back injury.
Yeah.
It's going to be fickle.
It could be a vet thing that they're like giving him extra rest so he can feel better. Like maybe he can move around in practice, but they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's hold you out. You've been practicing all year, so conditioning isn't going to be a problem. Let's let that back rest and stay away from the football activities for a couple of days. I think that could be the case. I think if you see him tomorrow, I think that'll be the sign, because tomorrow's practice is not really. It's kind of a, I don't know, what is it? A juiced up walkthrough, right? A juiced up walkthrough is what you call Friday's practice, right? Something like that.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, something like that. So maybe I think tomorrow might be the one that you want to worry with Agba. All right, so let me ask you about the corners. Kohu looks like he's fine, right? Because he came back yesterday and looks like today he's practicing again. So it looks like they're through the woods with him so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember looking at him on the injury report. I mean, he may have been limited for a second consecutive day. I'm not overly concerned with him. Crossan hasn't practiced.
Remember, they held him out this past week. That's why I asked about Kohu. That's why. Yeah.
My expectation would be to be back in the lineup. Be interesting to see if he does play, if they wind up starting him, or if they wind up starting Noah.
Right.
Because I think Noah did enough good things that maybe he starts and Kohu's the slot.
Damn it, bro. You jumped on me there. That was going to be a follow-up. So have you gone back to see the film and watch Noah? Because it was cool to see him do more positives than negatives, in that game. But I have not gone back to watch all the plays to see how he did. Your thoughts on Noah overall? And we can't say he's turned the corner until we see him play, good for a few weeks. Then we can say, hey, now something's happening. But your thoughts on his play last week?
No, and the thing about him too is man, does it look like it doesn't come naturally to him.
It's not supposed
holy
to.
smokes. But to me, there was great progress in the 2 pass breakups that he had where he actually turned his head to look back at the ball, which is not something I'd ever seen him do before. So that's a major step in the right direction. Now, the DPI he got, it's a simple double move. It wasn't anything. It wasn't Devontae Adams, like doing some fancy footwork there.
But that's a clear weakness of his. He bites on that all the time, bro.
Because he doesn't.
He reminds me of that mustache spit dude in Major League that he can't stay away from the high fastballs, and so you got to throw him the high fastballs because he can't stay away from them. That's what it reminds me of. Like, number 9, yeah, just do a double move on him. He bites on it every time. That's what it seems.
Or a kid from a league of their own. She can't stay away from the high hard one.
That's it.
No, but you can tell, and even the first pass breakup, it was weird because he turned quickly enough. Where to me, I got like,
he could have caught it. I know what you're about to say. He could have caught it.
Immediately, he went like this. Immediately, I'm like, dude, you're allowed to try to catch it,
Yeah.
And that speaks to me as a guy who just doesn't.
It's not natural yet to him. It's not confident because, as you know, the confident corner wants to catch the ball. The confident corner becomes a receiver in those moments. He's not just looking to bat it down. You know what I'm saying? The linebacker, the clumsy safety. Yeah, that dude just wants to bat it down and make sure he didn't give up the play. But the badass corner, you're right. He wants to catch that ball every time.
Eric, Xavier turns his head and it's like, oh, that's mine. And Noah, will he ever get there? Who knows? But there was some progress. I'm not sure I trust him against like the Steelers don't have good receivers. I'm not sure they have Justin Jefferson, but Johnson's a nice receiver. Chase Claypool's a nice receiver, and George Pickens. They wouldn't stop raving about him in training camp. That hasn't translated so far in the regular season for them.
Receivers take time. Also, it's not one of those things. Sometimes it takes them a little bit to kind of figure that out. So I never freak out on receivers early on because it's not an easy position.
No, that's fair. But I remember talking to somebody in Pittsburgh over the summer, and my question was like, is he as good as everything I'm hearing? And he's basically better. It's like there's not everything you might have heard about him is not enough.
Right.
And the highlights you've seen since the regular season started is he's basically pushing guys to the ground on running plays. I don't know if you've seen those. It's jeez.
Your thoughts in this game? What do you think happens? You like him this week?
Yeah, Steelers had a really nice win against Tampa Bay last Sunday, but this is not a good team. This is not a typical Steelers team. They'll have Pickett at quarterback, looks like. I haven't seen anything from him that really dazzles me. If TJ Watt was playing, I'd be a lot more concerned about their defense because without him, Alex Highsmith's got some nice sack numbers, but TJ Watt's a game wrecker. And
I love Highsmith, man. I liked him in the East-West Shrine game when I saw him a couple years back. He was I remember he had that green funky helmet. Where was he from? Like
Charlotte, I believe, right?
Charlotte, that's it. Charlotte, that's what it was. Remember they had a funky logo or something. I forgot what it was, but yeah.
He's a nice player, but Watt's a game wrecker.
No, yeah, Watts is a superstar, bro.
Correct. And if Watt was playing, I'd have my concerns about dealing with that defense now. Not so much. And then their offensive line's really bad. Although actually I'm told that it's been playing fairly well. Harris isn't right. It doesn't look like the same guy he was last year. Been dealing with injuries, foot injuries since the start of the regular season. And again, the dynamic player that we saw last year is not quite there yet. So it's really shaping up. It's a game that the Dolphins are really well set up to win.
By the way, do you laugh? Because I'm sure you've gotten the emails or the tweets or the DMs. Oh, Flo's really going to come after Tua this week. He's going to really have that defense dialed up. And like, do they know that Terrell Austin's the defensive coordinator, that he's just a linebackers coach? He's not really going to make a lot of calls. And he doesn't really know a lot about this offense anymore because it's completely different.
Right.
So it's just like, I mean, and hell, he probably doesn't even know Tua's tendencies because he doesn't even know how to play Tua when he had him here as it is. So I'm just, I just laugh at the misconceptions of what they think Flo is going to be a part of this weekend.
No, there's only so much you can do, It's not the only homecoming though. We also got Minka Fitzpatrick with another homecoming.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And the last time he played, his last 2 games actually at Hard Rock Stadium, that one year, he was on the wrong side of scores of 59-10 and 43-0.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. We may have flashbacks if it starts going south for the Steelers on Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you there, brother. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the offense. I think you're going to see a much different offense now. Where I heard people talk about, well, they can't score points, this, that. Dude, they lost their quarterback. This guy will help you score points compared to the last 2 guys did a fine job filling in, but your franchise guy is back. You'll be able to finish some of these drives that they have struggled with the last couple of weeks. You agree with that?
They were. I mean, I crunched the numbers actually. The 2 main areas of major difference from the first 3 games to the last 3 games was red zone, but they were slightly better. They weren't like way better. I have the numbers right here: 7 for 9 in the first 3 games, 5 for 8 in the last 3. So it's not a huge difference. The big difference is third down conversions, where you've gone from 48.5, which is basically near the top of the league, and then the last 3 games was 28.6. Yeah. That's a big difference. We also have to factor in that Armstead played 1 quarter, even half of a quarter against the Jets, and didn't play at all against Minnesota.
That's very important.
That's another bonus.
That's very important. Yeah, I'm with
you. The totality of that, with Tua back, with Armstead back, I think there's reason to hope that the offense is going to have a much better performance than we've seen the last 3 games.
By the way, I did a piece yesterday on because people talk about Flo this, Flo that, and I compared Flo to Ernie from Scarface. So they're there in Lopez Motors, and they gotta put the guy down, right? And so then there's Ernie with his bottle of Jack, sweating bullets, and Tony turns to him, "You want a job?" "Sure, Tony. Sure, yes, yeah. Hey, you got a job." To me, Ernie and Flo nobody was going to give him a job at that point. You know what I mean? And then Tomlin kind of Scarfaced it and said, "Yeah, we'll give you a job." And he's kind of Ernie from Scarface. What do you think about that?
It's a funny analogy. I like it. Loyal to the end, and see where I got him at the end.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Who else is going to give him a job? If you really look at it, okay, so you tried to screw over the people that hired you. You wanted the guy that hired you. You wanted to take his job and become the GM and the personnel guy. And then the guy that brought you into the league for 16 years, you screwed him over by exposing his techs. Like, who is going to trust you from here on out, bro? Like, you are a backstabber. I mean, that's it. Is it the OJs or the Spinners? Who sings Backstabbers?
That's the OJs.
The OJs.
You're also painting a very one-sided portrait of the whole situation, which considering your feelings for Flo is not exactly surprising, and that's kind of been consistent.
I love Flo. He's such a fantastic dude.
Yeah. Squeeze a lot of wins out of that roster the last 2 years, and you can't deny that.
That's right, with Tua. That's right. Without Tua, he had a losing record. And he didn't even realize that. That's the part that's frustrating.
He had a losing record with Fitzpatrick in 2020, sorry.
Okay, but overall he did.
Well, it's because he had Jacoby Brissett at his starting quarterback last year. Come on.
I think didn't Fitz overall have a losing record?
Yeah, because if you're counting 2019 when they were basically an expansion team, in 2020 they had a winning record with Fitz at quarterback.
All I can tell you is
all you want, Big O. Come on, it's your show. Go for it.
You is that when Tua plays, it's a winning record in 19, in 20, in 21, whatever. Oh no, what is it? 2021.
He played 19. He was at Alabama.
2021. Well, that was also a winning record. But no, 2021 and 22, Tua only has a winning record. Just saying. Just saying.
That's true.
Just saying. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. And again, you know what the rules are. And if you don't, well, then what the hell's wrong with you? You're not a Dolphins fan if you can't bookmark alldolphins.com. That's how you keep up with everything going on in the NFL. This man writes 47 articles an hour. Okay? That's a lot of articles in a whole day. So make sure you go to alldolphins.com and get all the information you can handle, except the negative stuff on Flow. All right. We'll see you later on next week, my friend.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend.
All right, you got it. There you go. The great Alain Poupart from Sports Illustrated, baby. And our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.